Another era begins at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Four managers in under a year, going from Ange Postecoglou to Thomas Frank to Igor Tudor, and now the Roberto De Zerbi era has began, and it's got off to the worst possible start. Tottenham Hotspur losing 1-0 to Sunderland. Yes, I appreciate this reaction's coming a few days after the game. So we're not just going to brush up on the Sunderland game because we might as well talk about more because let's be honest, once again, and we are now in what's the date today? The 18th, 9th, no, it's not the 18th, sorry. But, we're middle of April in 2026 and Tottenham Hotspur still have not won a game in 2026. And that is absolutely unbelievable for a club this size. I know we talk about the Premier League being so competitive, and I know people want to say that Tottenham Hotspur aren't a big club, but in terms of finances and I don't know, I wouldn't say media reach because let's be honest, there's some teams in the Premier League that are bigger than us. But Tottenham Hotspur are still a big club, and Tottenham Hotspur are now in the relegation zone, 2 points adrift of West Ham. Don't look like a win is coming from anywhere, and against Sunderland, a new manager, once again, as I said, the third manager this season, who's been brought in with 7 games to save Tottenham Hotspur, has now got 6 games left, and we did not look great against Sunderland. I say that, if you do watch the game back, there are some green shoots of things that Tottenham Hotspur had done. So I'm not going to say we didn't play well because the confidence of the players is absolutely shot, and nobody can say anything different. The confidence of the players are absolutely shot. So for De Zerbi to come in and try and lift the confidence could take a couple games, which we don't even have at the minute. Next game being Brighton as well, which we'll come into. But I personally think De Zerbi got the lineup wrong, and I'd like to believe that he does not make that same mistake again against Brighton. And if he does, Tottenham Hotspur in some real big issues because yeah, we look so bad and we can't pick up results. It was December the 28th, 2025 that we last won a game, and we're now April 2026. Still no win in the Premier League. This weekend we play Brighton, who a team is going to know Roberto De Zerbi's philosophy more than Tottenham Hotspur are going to know Roberto De Zerbi's philosophy. So that's going to be an interesting test. Of course, we know about the home record, but what a confidence boost it could be if we then go and get a victory at home. And then the next few home games, the atmosphere, the pressure just lifts a bit off the players, because, as I said, the confidence being so short of the players, and we're just seeing time after time again, when they concede that first goal, they just crumble. They just have no fight. They didn't crumble as much against Sunderland, but they didn't really do too much. But again, that's a confidence thing. I know we do put them on pedestals, but they are still professional footballers, but they are still human beings. So their confidence is all in the ground, especially with the pressure that they must be under. Imagine that your name is going to be tied to a relegation of a club of Tottenham Hotspur, a club of the stadium. I'd say we are the best stadium in the Premier League, and I think fans will appreciate that. Of course, you've got your legacy stadiums like Old Trafford, Anfield, but Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is the best stadium in the Premier League. Could you imagine that going into the Championship? With some of the players we've got, we just won our first trophy in 17 years as well. So the season after that, the season after getting rid of Daniel Levy, the amount of pressure that is on these players that if they take this club down, and I just don't think anybody wants to stand up, but I think the two players that we needed to see in the lineup were Xavi Simons and Matthias Tell, and it was a bit annoying that Roberto De Zerbi taught them up so much in the pre-match press conference, and obviously he brought on Tell, like 60 minutes or whatever it was, but then Xavi Simons got like 15-ish, maybe 18 minutes, but that's including like 11 minutes of added time. So what can Xavi really do in that time? Once Sunderland had scored and decided to sit back as well, and obviously we know De Zerbi's style, whilst we're not seeing too much of it, is to try and bring the opponents onto you, but they're obviously not going to push onto you when they know they've got a lead to hang on to, so they can just sit back. So that's another issue that we're going to have to look at, because when we're playing against teams that sit back, How does De Zerbi break them up with a team that has no real quality on the ball or players that he doesn't want to play of quality? Maybe even thinking possibly the midfield three that he should go with currently out of the players that we have fit and available should be Yves Bissouma, Archie Gray, and Xavi Simons, because yes, Yves Bissouma is so hit and miss, and of course he has good games, bad games. But when Ange's first 10 games, remember that Yves Bissouma, he can play in that position where he's receiving the ball, quickly turning. He doesn't mind taking a player on. Obviously, if that works, we know Archie Gray's ability. He's been our best player this season as well. And Xavi Simons is the only player in the team, barring Pedro Porro, who's got that creative spark about him. And I just think players like that need to play in this system anyway. So that's a midfield three that I'd like to see. I think Matthias Tell needs to come in on the left. Dom Solanke probably up front, and then the right wing, I guess it's got to be Moani because we don't really have anyone else. I know a lot of fans are praying for a youngster to come in, but I just think it's a tough ask. Imagine throwing Luca Williams-Barnett his first start. Let's just put this in theory because I'm not saying this is what I'll do, but let's say we put Luca Williams-Barnett for the first start as a right winger at Brighton at home. He has an absolute stinker. Tottenham lose again, 5 games left to go to relegation, and then he just gets ripped. Look what happened to Kinski. I know he played very well against Sunderland and redeemed himself, but it's just not a time to throw in a youngster, I don't think, as well, especially as I think he made his Premier League debut now, if it's not his European debut. Of course, he played in the Cup against Doncaster earlier on in the season as well. So yeah, I just think that's too much to ask for him, but Tottenham Hotspur got a big week because we need to beat Brighton somehow, some way. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we need to pull it off the bag because this club can't go down. But after every game, like the feeling, obviously, when I saw West Ham win 4-0, of course, which is a huge win against Wolves, that was not great because now we're in the bottom 3. For the first time this season, we're actually in the bottom 3. 2 points adrift as well. And then to not go and win against Sunderland, now we're 2 points adrift. And we got Brighton at home. Tough game. The only thing positive, of course, we got Wolves next. I'm saying positive, but if they're falling off a cliff like we see them lose to West Ham, you never know. The fixtures could be tougher. I've looked at the run-in for the last 6 games from us, Forest, and West Ham and Leeds. And I would say Forest probably on paper. Of course, we know football is not played on paper. Forest have a tougher run-in than us. So there's an opportunity there. I know we're absolutely awful, but if Tottenham Hotspur get 1 win, all it takes is 1 win. Like, I'm a positive guy, man. And I don't know. I'm going to put it on here. Tottenham Hotspur cannot get relegated. Let me put this way. We can get relegated because I understand the situation we're in, but Tottenham Hotspur also cannot get relegated because the amount of banter I'm getting from all of my friends just saying, oh, you lot are going to go down, stuff like that. Could you imagine if Tottenham Hotspur actually went down into the Championship? Now, honestly, that's something that I don't know if we ever recover from. Of course, Roberto De Zerbi says he'll stay throughout it, so De Zerbi ball in the Championship, but could you imagine the injuries we'd have in the Championship because we're playing more games anyway, but I guess at a less pace. I really don't know. But let's hope that thing does not come. I'm actually away as well for the Brighton game. I'm at a wedding, so I'm going to have to be trying to watch it on my phone. We'll come and break it down on Sunday night, probably. But Tottenham Hotspur needs something massive. I really don't know what it is. You guys let me know in the comments because there's not really many options. Players aren't coming back from injury. We don't know what's going on with Kulusevski. Obviously, we know Mohamed Kudus isn't coming back. Bentancur, I guess, will be back soon. Vicario doesn't even matter. Who else is there? Maddison, but once again, Maddison's not going to be very good. He hasn't played football in a year, and if you add on that 2-3 months he had for his injury as well, yeah, it's dark times. Something needs to happen at Tottenham, but as always, come on you Spurs, thank you for watching, and we'll be back. Peace and love.